I was born in Northern Ireland on a farm which passed down a number of generations in May 1932, which makes me now roughly 92. I went to school, which was a country school. There was only two classes, upper and lower, and that was 2 miles away. I often walked that distance. There was no bus service in those days. The teachers were very good. They had canes and they knew how to use them. If you misbehaved, you could get 2 or 3 on the hand. Anyway, that was very good. The farming background was a very interesting place to be born. We had a mixed farm of about 300 acres. That included chickens, ducks, geese, horses, cows, sheep, everything. You saw life. Some would get ill, some would die, and many were born. That's a great experience to be born on a farm. Our nearest neighbour was half a mile away, another farm, and the nearest town was 5 miles away. Growing up, I was one of 11 near the bottom end. I remember the start of the Second World War in September 1939. Some of my older brothers and sisters were involved. One was in the RAF, trained to be, towards the end of the war, trained to be a fighter pilot. One was in the army. A brother-in-law was in Dunkirk. Another brother-in-law was in signals and through France and Germany. They all returned safely after the war and continued life. My father, unfortunately, had a serious accident when I was 16. I was the first member of the family to see him, and he had serious head injuries due to an accident. And I went with him on the ambulance to the hospital, and the doctor told me after examination, "Your father has serious injuries. He'll be dead within 24 hours. And in fact, he died within 16 hours. And that was an experience I had at 16. And then I helped my brother on the farm, which he was the owner then, for a short time. And then I got a job in sales in a local furniture shop and carpet shop. And then I came to England, and it was my plan to go to Canada. However, I've been to Canada about 5 times on holiday, but I've never lived there. In Swindon, I had a brother who was demobbed at Lynham from the RAF. I got a job, and I had a job calling on farms, and I loved that job. Nick Rubber, you can make jam out of it. You cut it off there, you take that off. That's it. One day, my older brother on the farm, who owned the farm, was at the Home Guard. He had uniform. He had a 303 rifle and 100 rounds of ammunition. And a runner came and says, "We're expecting invasion within the next 3 days. Put on your uniform, take your rifle and all your ammunition, report to the army, and you'll be under their command. And take food for 3 days, get somebody to look after your cattle, sheep, etc. We don't know when you will be back." Fortunately, we won the Battle of Britain, and we didn't get the invasion, and he was back home in 3 days. Hallelujah. All my brothers and sisters moved away from home around about 17, 18, 19 to see how they could get on in life. One was a nurse, and another one had his own business. A number had their own business, and etc. My time had come around about 18 to make my adventure into the big wide world. I came to Swindon with intention of going to Canada. I wanted to go to Vancouver area, but I had a little bit of bad health and I never lived in Canada, although I visited it and enjoyed it 5 times. That's the way. You don't know what tomorrow brings in life. So I got a job that I enjoyed here in sales, calling on farmers. And then later I moved on to manufacturing sales, and I called on retail shops. Then I decided to start my own business. Now, it was a big decision. I wrote my resignation. I enjoyed my job, but I could say no great future in it. Jean and me met at church, and we got married and took up a mortgage and bought a house in Swindon in the Old Town area. And then we started our own business. We both worked hard, and my advice on anybody starting business, if you're not prepared to do 60 hours a week, don't start it. We worked hard. I can recall starting at 5 o'clock in the morning and working till 11 o'clock at night at Christmas time. Jane done the bookwork, and business was far, far beyond our ever expectation.
So this is Swindon Cycles, and was set up by my granddad and Graham in 1997, and was his prize, well, one of the big shops he wanted, with big glass like frontage and big car park, and originally housed 250 bikes on show.
Stephen's a backer.
I'm a backer apparently. Hi there, yeah, my name's Steve, Steve Michell. I am the 3rd generation, so I'm Harold's grandson. My parents are Andrew and Janice. They both run Michell Cycles, and I run Swindon Cycles here. I took over managing in 2021, and I've been working in the industry for over 15 years alongside my parents.
As far as I know, we never dumb down a customer. We give them value for money, and they come back time and time again. And we are now selling in the bike business and doing repairs for 3 generations. And I say that is far beyond our expectation. I knew a bit about sales, and business went extremely well. It's passed on to family, and it has now been going for 55 years. And fortunately, we never lost money on 1 year in the whole 55 years. Sometimes the profit was small, sometimes it was bigger, but we never lost anything. We were blessed with 2 children, a boy and a girl. One went to university, one carried on the business. We now have 4 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. If you're a young person and considering running your own business, it's a wonderful thing to do. You are your own boss. You sink or swim on your decisions. You need to make good decisions. One of the terrible things in life is taking drugs and alcohol. Those people make bad decisions, and I have seen young people do it and be dead by the time they're 32. And I had the experience of that. I took the funeral of a young man, the only son, who got into drugs and died at 32. So that you have to stay away from that, make sensible, responsible decisions, and be prepared to work hard. It's not a 40-hour week or a 35-hour week. It may be 50 or 60 hours, but the reward is great. When one looks back on life, and it's quite a long period of time, I am very pleased and very thankful for life. Met some very nice people. It's a wonderful thing in life to be able to help others. As people have great difficulty in life, they need help. It's a great thing to have the blessing of good health. I came close, very, very close to death on 3 occasions, but I am still here. I've had cancer. I have had septicemia twice. My wife was told by the doctors if they didn't operate at 12 o'clock one night, I'd be dead by 8 in the morning. I am still here. I am thankful for that. But there's many people who have a great difficulty in life. They need help from many people. So if you can help others, that would be one of the advice I would give to you. It's a joy to be able to help others who are in need and who are not as fortunate as we are. So there we are. I'm sure we could have done much more, but my wife, Jean, and me worked together. We have achieved more than any expectations that we anticipated many years ago.